I'm McKenna, this is Willow Talk, and today we're going to be learning how to make recycling better. Hey guys, so today we have a lot to cover. I have 4 different things on the agenda, so I'm going to jump right in. First things first, I'm going to do a quick disclaimer that I feel like my last video and this two-parter are kind of making it seem like everyone should stop recycling. We kind of hate recycling, but that's not what I'm saying. I just wanted to, in the first video, highlight the fact that we tend to strongly rely on recycling as a way to get rid of our waste, and we don't need to because there are some serious issues with it. But the second part is to learn how to do things better so we don't have to face as many of those issues, and we can help make recycling more successful and more profitable as the consumer. Believe it or not, we as consumers are kind of responsible to do better. So, let's start off with some rules, general rules for recycling. These are just to kind of help you keep these in mind before you throw something in the bin. So number 1, in every city, it's going to be a little bit different on what they accept in the recycling facilities or MRFs or whatever you want to call them. Every city is going to be different. You have, before you start recycling, you have to check out your city site to see what they accept and what they don't accept. That's because number 2, not all recyclables are created equal. So even though your recyclables may have that little number on the bottom that has a little recycling symbol with a number in it, does not mean your city automatically accepts that. It does not. Some cities won't accept certain plastics because not all of them are created equal, and not all plastics or products in general are going to be as easily recycled as the other. Paper is a lot more easy to recycle than a number 6 plastic. Number 3. Number 3 is that we are not cleaning our recyclables. We're throwing stuff in the bin as soon as we get done with it. When you recycle something, it has to be broken down to create a new product. In order for that to be broken down, we can't have food and liquid contamination in the recycling. So before you throw something into the recycling bin, always make sure it's clean, or at least as clean as you can possibly make it. No food or liquid in the recycling. It's not a compost, it's not a trash. You can't recycle your freaking pineapple juice in your can. Like, it's not, I just feel like it's not that hard to rinse out a can. Like, you can scroll on Facebook for 2 hours, but you can't take 5 seconds to rinse out your can. Like, Number 4, do not bag your recyclables. When you throw it in your recycling bin, don't put it in a bag. It's supposed to be loose. It has to get sorted. If you put it in a bag, it's going to a landfill. Point blank. Number 5. Number 5 is when in doubt, throw it out. Like we discussed in the last video, we are doing a lot of wish cycling. We're thinking just because something appears recyclable, or because maybe we could recycle it in a different area, that we can recycle it now. No! If you are not sure, throw it away. Because like we also previously discussed, if you throw it in there and it's not recyclable, it's then making people use more resources, more money, more time to get it sent to a landfill, and you did nothing. Absolutely nothing. If anything, you caused more harm. Sorry, I said it.
Alright, to get started, I'm actually going to take you through a couple sites here that are really good resources to find other ways to reduce your waste besides recycling. Some really inspirational articles. I mean, this is Earth 911, and it has like all sorts of stuff, home and garden, so you can learn about stuff like that. How to reuse old pillows, be more green in 2020, so it's just a really great place to find resources for being more sustainable. Really, that's all there is to it. So as you can see, they have a lot of really great resources about recycling all on its own. We're recycling jobs, interviews, how curbside recycling works if you need even more info, but you got all of that in episode 1. how to dispose of bags properly. So this is actually a really great article. I'm just going to click on it really quick because why not? So a lot of people think that you can recycle your plastic grocery bags. You cannot recycle your plastic grocery bags. Like we talked about previously, all of our recyclables go into MRFs, our materials recovery facility, and the plastic bags get caught up in chains and belts and blowing away and just really end up being more of a menace than anything. And when they do get wrangled up, they have to be sent to a landfill, and where we have to waste more resources, making recycling less profitable, as we discussed previously. So that's a really great thing if you ever want to check it out, learn a little bit about why it's a problem. But what we're really here is to look at where to recycle. Right here in the top right hand corner, just like any of these bars, it's just as important, so they have it really easy for you to find. Now this is where you can search places that you can recycle at. So I need to recycle my computer. Well, actually, let's do an old laptop computer, and search. All right, and now we have a list of places that will accept that. Look at that. Elgin, I don't know. Recycling Incorporated. Home Depot will take the batteries from your laptops. Staples takes the lithium-ion batteries and the laptop computers. How convenient for me. Easy peasy. I can call and confirm all sorts of things. I think these are all the things they actually accept by the looks of it. So that's awesome. So that's just an example of how you can look on Earth 911 if you're struggling to find proper recycling in your city, or if it's something that your city doesn't actually accept, because that's what we'll be looking at next. Here's another really great site. So a lot of your recyclables will have this symbol on there, and it's going to probably have a number. And also, if you pay closer attention, it has these wonderful labels telling you the type of material, the packaging format, and I love this site because it really breaks down that for you so you can properly understand all of your recyclables. So let's explore some labels, and then now it's going to break down all the different type of labels you're going to see on your recyclables, how they can be like this, so you can drop off your bags at the store, but you may not be able to widely recycle it. Now these are not all on these exact labels are not on all of your recyclables where they have the breakdown. Some just have the little recycling symbol, but it's always best just to check your city regardless. And that also can be done on this site. And look, they even take you to Earth 911. I'm telling you, every site we go to, like even city sites, will suggest you go to Earth 911 because it's just magic, actual magic. So now I want to go ahead and, just because we use Chicago for the zip code, let's look up Chicago City Recycling. We're going to go to the city site and we're going to figure out what materials they actually accept. So I went to both of these and they both actually take me to the exact same thing once you get to it. So I go to this, it automatically takes me to this site that discusses Chicago's Blue Cart Residential Recycling Program. We're going to look at accepted materials. Now, these are also the recycling drop-off centers in Chicago. So both places, these are all of them accepted materials. Other cities might be different. Maybe there's a recycling drop-off that accept more items than your actual city does. It really depends. So these are all of the recyclables they accept. And down here are ones they do not. There's a couple on here I want to discuss just because they're part of the rules I talked about already. One of them being not all recyclables are created equal. Right here. They do not accept number 6 plastics, which is polystyrene or styrofoam. And this is because it's just one of those items that is harder to recycle than others, and it's not one the city can accept in their facility. So I think that's a really great example. You see the little recycling symbol on the bottom. It has a number 6 on it. You're like, sweet, I can throw it in. No, you can't. Not all places accept them. You might have to take it to a drop-off somewhere else. Diapers or feminine products are another. I told you guys. People, for some reason, think bodily fluids can be recycled, and they can't. whatever. And it's like feminine products, like I don't know if you're talking about tampons, like because they're made out of cotton, but like I'm pretty sure cotton can't be recycled like in your regular recycling regardless. You can compost cotton. I don't know if I'd use my feminine products, but so yeah, unnumbered plastics, like for instance, I think this is also really great examples. Toothbrushes or toys, you think just because they're plastic they can be recycled, but just because something is plastic doesn't mean that type or with those dyes can actually be processed properly. Look up another city. In this case, let's do you know, I just want to check out what Portland recycles, and I want to see if they recycle a lot more than Chicago. And guys, I'm doing this for the first time. Like, this is my first time looking this up. Garbage recycling and composting, the city of Portland. So yeah, I definitely think this is my best bet. Portland recycles. Curbside. Well, here's when it is. See the list of accepted materials to put into your blue recycling roll cart. Ask Metro how to recycle items not accepted at the curb. So you can literally go on this site if they have stuff that you need to recycle that they don't accept. How helpful is that? Look at that. You can look it up, enter the zip code. Bam. Super easy. So here are the accepted materials. Paper, plastic. These plastic items, but you can't recycle plastic bags. Notice how plastic bags are nowhere to be found on here. Crazy. Like, also notice in Portland specifically, you have to put your glass into a different type of bin. So that's important. You can also recycle motor oil. See, that's something that Chicago doesn't accept, motor oil. You can't put it next to your bin. So, I mean, Portland's definitely a lot more progressive when it comes to recycling. But just to show you guys another random city. And I know some cities are smaller and they don't have the best recycling. They can't accept all these products. But I can almost guarantee that there's a neighboring recycling facility or drop-off center or somewhere where you can send ones that your smaller town doesn't.
Last on our agenda today, I really wanted to give you guys a few tips on some items that were listed in the accepted and non-accepted items on our pages, and kind of go over ways we can end up saving money in the long run and not having to buy those things in the first place. So the first thing I want to talk about is aluminum foil and cans. I mean, were mentioned, but this is more so referring to the aluminum foil listed on the Chicago site we looked at. Aluminum foil is great for cooking, but it's also unnecessary. You can, quite honestly, I don't even use aluminum foil or anything on my pans. I just use some oil and wash the pan when I'm done. But I do know that over time when you do that, there's like these burn marks in the pan, and some people are really picky and they don't want to see that. So what you can do is use reusable silicone baking sheets, or just reusable baking sheets in general. They're super helpful, and it's actually going to save you money in the long run because you're not going to keep repurchasing aluminum foil. I don't know about you, but even though aluminum foil is accepted, it's not something that's easily cleaned, especially it's so thin and it rips so easy, and I know nobody is cleaning their aluminum foil before they put it in their bin. So avoid having to buy it in the first place and get yourself some reusable baking sheets. They're super easy to clean too. They're honestly such a great thing to have. I keep thinking about buying them, but I just feel like it's one of those things I don't need to get. But if it's something you'd be interested in, would help you. The second thing I wanted to bring up was wax wrap. It is the greatest thing ever. It completely replaces plastic wrap, and I'm going to show you guys some. I have some wax wrap. It's made out of beeswax, so it's not exactly vegan friendly, but to me, I would much rather use this over plastic wrap. It's super great. It lasts up to a year, but I bet it could last longer if you take really good care of it. It's really awesome. I'm currently using it for a big block of cheese my grandma gave me. Also, shout out to my mom for the beeswax wrap. It's honestly amazing. But you just wrap it around your item, whatever it may be, like so, and it's going to be kind of stiff when you first get it. Mine has loosened up over time since I've rewrapped it and whatnot. But then you just use the heat of your hands and it kind of melts it down, and it becomes a perfect plastic wrap. And it honestly keeps your food super fresh. It's completely 100% compostable. And so that's really great. You don't need to throw it in the landfill when you're done with it. And it lasts so long, it ends up saving you money because you're not repurchasing plastic wrap. And plastic wrap can't be recycled. That's apparently a big misconception. People think they can recycle plastic wrap, but you can't. I just love this beeswax stuff so much. It's great for like avocados and apples and stuff. If, like the other day I didn't want to finish my apple, but keeping it wrapped up, it stayed fresher longer. So I just wax wrap all the way. Third thing I wanted to mention is buying in bulk, whether this be in bulk bins or buying larger packages of things that you can't find in a bulk bin or in a recyclable package. So I am super, super blessed to have a giant grocery store with the biggest bulk selection I think I have ever seen. And it's super great. I can even get like goldfish crackers in their bulk section and like, what? So I love it. But if that's not something you have available to you, buying the largest bulk item of something that you, especially if you know you're going to use it often, is still a little bit more sustainable than continuously going back to buy the smaller version of something you're constantly using. So whether it be bulk bins or just buying in bulk in general, it's really great. The fourth thing I'm going to bring up is something everyone has already told you. Reusable, I'm combining two in one because they're not even worth having their own separate numbers. If you're not doing this, you're not trying, dude. You're really not trying. Is number 4 is reusable bags and water bottles. Every person I know has a reusable water bottle. Whether or not they use it is their discretion. But using reusable water bottles and bags are super helpful to have to avoid, for instance, plastic bags that cannot be recycled. Using reusable ones are a really great alternative, and I love it because it ends up saving me more trips to carrying my groceries. Reusable bags are almost always so much bigger than the plastic bags, so you don't have to worry about if you stuff them about them breaking. And since you can fit so much more in there, it's less trips to the cold outside. I'm just saying. And if you can't get reusable bags, which I mean, I don't know about you, but I've been to at least a few different events through school and crap where like I was given a free bag and I used that to get groceries at Aldi's, okay? So even like the drawstring bags, I've used them. Like, you have to get creative sometimes. But same with the water bottle. I mean, anybody can use a reusable water bottle, even reusing a regular plastic one you previously bought. Was using like this old Gatorade bottle I had bought for forever. Like, I think I used it for months. Like, it's not being creative, y'all, using what you already have. If you can't or don't want to have to purchase reusable bags, cloth bags, then even switching to paper at your grocery store, just asking them at the register, hey, can I get paper? And that way you can recycle or compost your paper bags. So regardless, there is an alternative to the plastic bag issue. And the last thing I wanted to talk about, one of the non-accepted items we noticed was wrapping paper. And this is something that I feel like not everyone thinks about. I hate unwrapping presents because it makes me feel guilty because they wrapped it so beautiful and now I'm just ripping it apart, and it's like, but it looks so pretty, like why do we have to take it apart? But B, it's all the trash at the end. Like, why did you waste all that time making it look pretty for us to just throw it in a pile and put it in the landfill? Like, I don't understand. So to avoid that issue, just get a regular paper bag. Like, there's paper bags that don't have all the sparkles and decorations and tags and stuff on them. They're super cheap and they're most likely more recyclable than the other things you're using. It just has to be a straight paper bag though. It can't have a waxy film on it. It can't have a bunch of decorations on it. But you can use paper bows or different decorations on them that are also compostable or recyclable to make it look nice. What I recently did at a baby shower is she asked for a swaddle blanket and I wrapped her other gifts in her swaddle blanket, and I also thought it was so cute, and I just think that's a really great idea for other people to do. I've seen other pictures on the internet and stuff of people wrapping gifts in blankets or just fabrics in general, and I think it's kind of more of a touching way to then, or giving them a reusable cloth bag and putting the gifts inside it, or reusable gift bags in general, people make and sew their own. So you can even purchase someone else's if you don't want to have to make your own, and it's a really great way to support a local business, and you're creating less waste because you're giving them a reusable gift bag. So there's another example of avoiding waste in general and the future purchase of wrapping paper by using reusable gift bags. Okay guys, that's all I have for you today. This is the ending of our recycling two-part, I feel weird calling it a series, but two-part series. And I'll be coming back next week with something new. I have a few different ideas, so I don't want to make any promises about what it's going to be yet. But I'm really excited to keep on going on this journey with y'all. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, please at least share. If you can't give me a subscription, share it with your friends, because more than anything, I really want to share this knowledge and I want people to be able to do better and realize that it's super easy just to do a little bit better each day. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And until next time, stay warm. It's cold out there. It's like 40 degrees in Florida.